Hey there everyone, my name is Chris, I am the Man Collects. Thank you for joining me here as we do a tool review of some McFarlane Toys action figures. Before we get into that though, if you do end up enjoying this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you've not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing to the Man Collects. Turn on your bell for notifications so you will know when videos drop. Follow me on Instagram, all that wonderful stuff as content creators like to say. But let's get down to the main event of the evening. Like I mentioned, we got 3 new figures here from McFarlane Toys of the DC Multiverse variety. Let's take a look at what we got here. We've got the Fear Toxin Batman from Batman Begins. We got the Batman 89, the great Michael Keaton version. And then we got the regular Christian Bale Batman here from Batman Begins we're going to take a look at. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the Fear Toxin Batman has the gold label on there. It is Target exclusive. You can only get it at Target stores. The 89 Batman and the regular Christian Bale Batman, you can get those at most places that sell McFarlane Toys. At GameStop, Books A Million, Walmart should have them eventually, Target, and so on and so forth. These are usually $22.97. Now, if you buy them at GameStop, they've been showing up for $24.99. If you get them at Books A Million, there can also be an upcharge there. But your price at Target and Walmart and places like that should be around $23, 23 United States dollars. But all that being said, guys, let's take a look at the packaging on these, then we'll crack them open and we'll take a look at the figures. We're going to start with the Christian Bale, the regular Batman here from Batman Begins, work my way up to the favorite one, which is the 89 Keaton. Let's start out, guys, by taking a look at our packaging. Let's get it tilted up here so that the glare won't be so bad on it. As far as the packaging, you got your standard multiverse stuff. You got your clear window here on the front where you can see the figure. You can see the accessories he comes with. He's got a spear gun, he's got a batarang, and then the actual figure in there. He does have a soft goods, looks like a wired cape, and you have an alternate fist there. This is beginning to be a popular accessory he seems to be putting with Batman, this closed fist with the 3 batarangs stuck between his fingers he's getting ready to throw. So we'll take a look at that more closely once we do get this figure out of the packaging. Down at the bottom, you got your Batman labeling. On the side there, you got your Batman Begins. It's got the symbol up there for the Nolan Trilogy Dark Knight. And on the other side, you have some more stuff on there. You got your little QR code you can scan. As far as all that, on the back, you got an awesome picture there. That was kind of the promotional poster, teaser, or one sheet, whatever you want to call it, for the Batman Begins movie back in the day for the movie theaters. You got some more legalese, a QR code down there at the bottom. And then the bottom of the box, you have some more legal print, and you got a barcode. I'm going to freeze there for just a second in case you need to screenshot that barcode to try to help track it down at your local retailers. But that's a look at your packaging here on Mr. Bale. Let's get him out of the box now, and let's take a look at Christian Bale's Batman. And voila, we have him out of the packaging. Let's take a look at some of our accessories first before we dive into the Christian Bale Batman. And one thing I do like, I am a trading card nut. All the McFarlane Multiverse, of course, comes with a trading card. There you go, you got the same pictures on the back of the box art there from Batman Begins. And on the back, you always have a little bit of information there, backstory about the figure. I'm going to leave that on there for a second in case you want to pause it and read what's on the card. But you do get the awesome trading card. We're going to lay that to the side. As usual, you have a DC Multiverse figure stand that comes with all of them. Got the little printed DC on there. You can see that shines, a little glossy on the flat black finish. One peg for one of the feet, and then you got nothing on the bottom side of it. Now, some accessories I know I didn't see, guys, in the little packaging there. You get 2 actually extra fists with this. You get the fist here with the batarangs on it. We're going to take a look at that one in a second. And then you get the regular plain closed fist here. Not much detailing on that. It's just a black molded plastic closed fist for the Batman figure. As far as the other accessories, these are the same ones that came with the Dark Knight Trilogy figures that came out here a while back with the Build-A-Figure Bane. You got one of the batarangs there, the bigger size batarang. That's really cool. Actually do a lot of cool things, sticking that on some other different stuff there. The little bat symbol. And then you get another one of the gold spear guns. This has been packed with the Christian Bale version of Batman before and some other figures in different color combinations. Now, this thing looks the coolest, I have to say, the way it's on there. You got the batarangs poking out of his knuckles. They're actually kind of staggered. You can see it there. They're not a straight line. Feel like you do have them down in your actual fist. You got the bottom end of them coming out down here. A little bunched up down in there, but that's not really a big deal. The only thing I can see with this, I don't know how good you can see it. The camera will zoom in. You'll notice you've got color here on the top. You got color on the bottom. Well, inside of his fingers here, you can, I don't know how good you can see on this camera or this angle, but there is pieces of the batarang down there. They didn't paint it. You can kind of see it there. The ridges going down through there towards the bottom end of the batarangs. They didn't put any paint apps on that. Now, that would have been hard to paint. I get it. It would have been a lot of, I don't know how machines would be able to do that. I have no idea about the tooling process, but Would be cool if they could have got the color for the batarangs down in there as well. Just one little small detail with this one hand grip. But I mean, to me, if I put this fist on him, I'm going to have that showing out. I'm not going to have that visible anyways. It'll be towards the body of the figure, but still, to nitpick, that's something to nitpick about. Now, let's take a look at the main event. Let's take a look at Christian Bale. First, you do have a wired cape here. I need to zoom my camera out just a little bit so we can see all of them there, and I can move them up as we need to. Flat black paint, I do like that. You know, the one that did come with the Dark Knight Returns wave there with Heath Ledger Joker and all that, he did have shiny pieces on the costume. I like this flat black version better. Take a look at our head sculpt there. I mean, it looks like Christian Bale from Batman Begins, I think. I think he did really good with the head sculpt on it. But again, you got the soft goods cape. It is a wired cape, so you can position that thing and do all kinds of cool poses with it. I like the fact that McFarlane started giving us these wired capes. The only benefit I like to the plastic molded capes we used to get with Multiverse, if anybody that collects these, I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and bash on McFarlane, people do that enough, but they can be kind of a pain in the you-know-what to get to stand up sometimes. So, you know, that big heavy plastic cape on Batman figures, you can pose the figure and kind of use the cape to help balance it. So that's one thing I kind of liked about the molded capes. But let's get in now and take a look at our articulation. It should be the standard for any McFarlane figure. As far as your head and looking down, he will look down about that. That's actually pretty cool. You can do some stuff with this wired cape, like it's blowing behind him or something. Almost try to get a pose like when Rachel dies and he's standing on top of the pile of rubble there. But you can look down about that much. As far as looking up, and you do have some waist tilt there, you can bend him back. He can look up about that much. In a normal waist thing there, you can see he doesn't look up very much. He does have a slight upward look though you can get from him with the head sculpt. And as far as that goes, you can do the Exorcist 360 there with the head. It rocks a little bit side to side if you want to give him some looks like he's confused and trying to figure something out. Tell my cat looks at my wife sometimes when she's aggravating her, but anyways, it's neither here nor there. Arms, shoulder joints, you know, they do rock out there that far to the side. They probably would go all the way out, but you got these little pads right here, pieces of the armor. You can see that kind of limits it once it gets to that point, that pinches against the top part of the cowl here and keeps that arm from going any higher. Now if you turn it kind of sideways, it kind of limits again because it bunches up right down in there if you're trying to hyperextend the arm. You know, you got some rocking in there, some butterfly joints on the shoulders where you can rock the arms back a little bit. Now as far as that, you can move the arm all the way around the socket. I just got this thing out of package, so I'm trying not to be too rough with it. I don't want to end up breaking the figure, but his elbows, you do have double elbows there that will go up that much. As far as hyperextension, they'll go down that far and lock at his sides. And then the same thing over here with this hand. And there you go. The wrists, they are on ball joints, so you can take and spin the wrist all the way around. When you get them up here, they do have hinges on them, so you can bend them down that way. You can bend them back up that way if you need to get whatever posing that you're going for. If you want to get him try to pick his nose or something there, you know, hey, he can almost do it. Check that out. That's pretty cool. But you get your pretty much your standard arm articulation for the Multiverse figures. And then the same thing with this wrist. You know, it goes all the way around. You can get up there and have his fist kind of tilted in towards his head if you want to make it look a little bit better. I don't know, but standard articulation with your arms. And I gotta say, out of the package, he's moving pretty good. So he's not very tight, and he's not, you know, too loose either. So as far as your waist bends, you can move his arm back a little bit so you can tell. You can arch his back out about that much. And as far as an ab crunch, if he wants to do some crunchies, you know, he flexes down about that far. So got a pretty good movement there in the abs. And you can turn this sideways there if you want to go for some more dynamic posing. Alright, and this does roll, the ab part actually rolls a little bit, so you can move it kind of side to side there on his six pack if you need to. One thing I do like about this figure versus some other McFarlanes, the diaper is not that prevalent. I mean, there on the back you can see it kind of spilling over a little bit on his butt cheeks there, but most of the time these things are really big on the front of the figure. It's not that bad on this figure. It actually looks a little bit better. I like to zoom in on his crotch that much, but let's see what kind of split he can do. Can he do the Van Damme? Oh man, listen to that stiff plastic. He can get out there pretty far though, and that's just right out of the package with no warming up. I mean, that's not too bad, I don't think. As far as kicking out, you know, that diaper is going to limit him. He can kick out probably about that far from the front. As far as coming back to the side, they'll go back to right in there before they stop. And it's got double knees here, so again, you can bend his leg all the way back up like that. As far as coming down, of course, it's going to lock right there. There is no hyperextension. No thigh cut. You know, DC Multiverse McFarlane's don't have a thigh cut on there, so you can't turn anything at that. No calf cut either, so you can't twist anything on the boot. The ankles, you can flex his foot up about that much. There is toe articulation. Oh, well, look at that. You got toe articulation there too, what you can do. I thought they were solid. It's shiny black, makes it hard to see all the hinge joints, but there you go. You got toe and ankle articulation, and the ankles will go back that far, moving them back, and then they don't have any side-to-side rocking motion there in the ankles. But as far as your articulation, all that goes. That's about the base with him. You can see here again, just taking a look at the paint, the coloring. Look at the bat symbol. It's a good-looking Christian Bale Batman figure. A lot of good detailing. Take a look at the utility belt there. I mean, it really pops against that flat black. I like how they got like the shiny goblets. Kind of gives you good contrast against all this flat black on him. The belt is painted all the way around his back. You got good detailing there on the back armor as well, even though the cape's going to be covering it most of the time. You got your little bat wings or whatever there on the goblets, looking good as well. Not bent and messed up too bad if you're getting out of the package, because they are, you know, soft, flexible rubber. And then too, you gotta love that wired cape. Like I said, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with the wired cape there to flare it out anyhow you want to get him posed up. Let's see, I've been screwing around with this a lot. One thing I always like to check with McFarlane: standability. Will it stand up? Let's put him down here and let's take our hand. He stands. After all I've been twisting and messing around with his feet and legs, he does stand up. So that's a look at our Christian Bale Batman, guys. Now let's take a look at the Fear Toxin Batman and see what he's like. Unfortunately, with the glare coming from an overhead light, you got a big old line going across him. But here we have the Fear Toxin Batman. Let's pop him up here and get that light off of him. Again, guys, this is a gold label exclusive. It is exclusive to Target stores right now. It's available on the website. It was sold out last time I checked, but I will have a link to Target's website for this thing in the description of this video. If you're trying to find it, you can use that link to track it down, see if it's at your store, and I'll show you the barcode here in a minute. But check this one out, guys. You got the same packaging you had on all DC Multiverse figures. The branding and a character name down there at the bottom. Check out that head sculpt. I can't wait to crack this thing out. Pretty much this is just a retooling of the Batman we just looked at, just with the different head there. But again, that's what it was in the movie. He was seeing him with a different head sculpt when Scarecrow got hit with the Fear Toxin. Comes with the same accessories in here as you see. We'll take a look at those more here in a minute. But your branding there on the sides, the same thing as the one we just looked at. Same thing on that side. You got the same picture on the back of this one. Only difference you'll have down here with our legalese, the barcode will be different for this one, where it is the gold label Target exclusive. So there you've had time to screenshot that in case you want to take that to your Target store and get them to scan it. Now let's break this sucker out of the package and let's take a look at him, because I can't wait to get a better look at that head sculpt. Here we go again with figure number 2, the Fear Toxin Batman from Batman Begins. As far as your accessories, I'm not going to show it all again. It's the exact same stuff here that came with the other Christian Bale Batman. Only thing I will show, you've got here on the left hand, you got a closed fist, and the alternate hand it gives you for that is a closed fist. I'm not sure. I wonder if that was a mistake. I'm still wondering if that's supposed to be a closed fist for that hand, and they messed up. I have no idea. But let's take a look at this figure, guys. The only thing we're going to see that's really different from the Christian Bale. Look at that. Look at that. That head sculpt is absolutely awesome. Now, one thing you do have a little bit different, and let me get the other one back over here to show you real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. You got a little different weathering there on your chest plate and stuff, so that's cool. That's a cool feature. You got the same figure pretty much with just a repaint, but I do like they done the weathering there. And then you can look at the head sculpts there and really see the difference in that. But I wanted you to see the difference between the chest plates there especially, and then down the legs and everything. You got some additional weathering done on the Fear Toxin Batman. That is sweet. Now the capes are identical. Let's see if they did the same detailing on the back, if I can get the capes flipped up. Not as much on the back. Kind of saddened by that. You got it on the front a lot, but the backs here, I don't think they put much of the weathering. Well, you can see it there on the arms a little bit. It's on the back of the arm. Yeah, it's on the back of the shoulders. They did. It's just not as prevalent as much as they did on the front. And then the back of the legs looks about the same. So they only really done it on the front of the figure that much. Kind of lazy there, Todd. Cutting some corners there a little bit. It's not on much on the back of the figure as it is on the front of it. But still, the head sculpt kind of makes it for me. I'm not going to nag too much about that. All right, let's put Mr. Plain Bale back over here, and we're here to take a look at this one. Now, as far as articulation and stuff, it's going to be the exact same as the Bale Batman that we just put back over there, so I'm not going to go too much into that. We're just going to check out mostly the head sculpt. And again, let's try to get it closer to the camera here so you can see some of the detailing. Look at the texturing there and the detailing there, and it's more like horns than it does the ears. You can see the texturing and all the ridges and stuff there on the cowl. It almost looks like a zombified or a mummified Batman or something. I mean, look at that. You can even see the eyeballs on the inside. They're shiny against the kind of the matte finish of the rest of the head sculpt there. That is awesome. That is a sweet head sculpt on this Batman. Oh, that is nice. I like that. That was worth the figure right there. I will let go the fact that he didn't do the weathering on the back of the figure, you know, for the awesome head sculpt. I'll give you a pass for that, Toddy Mac. Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, we'll go over we'll show the articulation real quick. Again, you got about that much downward motion, same as the other one. As far as looking up, there you go with that. You get into his arm. Let's move this stuff out. I was trying to zoom in where it's got that stuff down on the table. Arms again. Now this one's a little bit stiffer, I will say. That's just a whole lot stiffer than that other one, so I'm not going to be too rough with him. But it goes about the same. These pads up here catch on him the same as they do Bale. You got your wrist here that move the exact same motions, and then you got the hinge joint in there where you can bend them up if you so choose to get different little poses out of his wrist and stuff. You can hyperextend it and then roll it back up there. Elbows are double jointed, so you see there you can pop his arms up about that far if you want to have him flex. And then there is no hyperextension. They go down about that far before they stop. And the arms do go all the way around here in the socket, and you got a little bit of rocking back and forth there, a little bit of a butterfly joint. As far as his torso, moving down towards the legs, again you got about the same ab crunch there. He's going to have the same articulation. It almost feels like he leans back a little bit farther than the Bale one did. This one is, like I said, considerably stiffer trying to get it to move. He's not as well ready to go as the Bale was, but you do have the twist there in this piece of the torso and this piece up here as well. As far as his legs, again, now his legs are a little more limber than what Bale's were, so they do go out about that far, so he can almost get to the full Jean-Claude Van Damme stance there as far as his splits go. And then his double jointed knees go up about that far, same as your other, no hyperextension, and you got the same toe and ankle articulation here that we had on the regular Christian Bale. Goes back about that far for the ankle. Again, no thigh cuts and no calf cuts on there. That's standard though on DC Multiverse figures. So we got the wired cape as we were looking at with the other Christian Bale, and I love all the details and things you can do with these wired capes. And where I've been messing with him, let's see if I can put him here, and I've got him kind of kayaked here in the waist. Oh, looky there, he stands up too. So far we're 2 for 2 on these things standing up, and the weird looking turns and twists I got their feet in there. So these may be kind of posable, guys. I don't know. This though, one more time, a close up. Take a look at that head sculpt. Oh, that is the best part of the figure, hands down, is the detailing on that head. Oh, that is sweet. Alright guys, that is it for our Fear Toxin Batman. We're going to take a look at Michael Keaton next from the '89 Batman. Then we'll put them all three up here for some final thoughts. But let's get Mr. Keaton out of the package. To quote Vanessa Williams, we have saved the best for last, in my opinion. I am heavily biased towards Michael Keaton. To me, guys, he is my movie Batman. But let's take a look at the '89 movie Michael Keaton Batman. Let's get the glare off of him there. You can check out your figure in the packaging. Now he does come with a lot more accessories than the other figures in the wave, which is kind of nice because you got to think, I'm sure that McFarlane knew this is probably going to be the most popular figure in the wave, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra hands there, the oversized spear gun, oversized batarang. You got the poles there he uses to kind of flex the cape out, couple of throwing stars, and this is cool. You've got the little, we'll take a look at these in better detail. I'm excited. I'm going over it too soon here, but the little remote control he used for the Batmobile when he, like, tells it to stop, and it stops right there before it takes out his shins. That's awesome. But standard packaging, again, same as the other two there. Branding on the bottom. You got your character name on there on the side. Batman, Batman 89. Multiverse symbols all over the place. There you go for the other side. Check out this image of Keaton on the back. And that beautiful black and white scale. That's an awesome picture of him dropping down to dispense some justice. And then on the bottom we got our legalese and our barcode that I will leave on the screen here for a second in case you need to take a screenshot of it to have your local store or merchant scan it to see if they've got it. But I'm excited for this one, guys. Let's get him out of the package. And Mr. Keaton has been let out of the packaging. Let's take a look at what we got here, guys. A lot of accessories with this figure. Way more with this one than didn't come with the other two there from Batman Begins. Let's take a look at our trading cards, since this one is different than what you had in the two Batman Begins. Same art there that is on the back of the box. And they got a good little paragraph there about the '89 Batman. I'll leave that there in case you want to pause it and read what's on the back of the card. But let's lay this over to the side. Let's take a look at our spear gun. This does look like, you know, modeled after the '89 spear gun from the Batman movie. And also, I guess he had these in Batman Returns. Just oversized, big time oversized version of this. I bet that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to get in his hand as big as it is. But we'll fight with that stuff later. But you can see there the size of the handle on there. It is a good size, a hefty piece of plastic. This kind of reminds me of one of those little hairy-legged spiders that move really quick if you try to kill the things. But you got the batarang there, also very thick, sturdy plastic. Doesn't really bend and flex that easy. That's pretty good to keep its shape and durability. But that comes with it. You get these poles, which these poles you put in these hands and goes into the cape here to help hold the cape out wide. I think, was it in Batman Returns or Batman '89 when he does that and like use that kind of like a hang glider? I can't remember what that was from, but we'll put these in his hands later and we'll pose that cape out there so you can see how that works. But that's what these weird looking chopstick, nightstick things here are that come with the figure. Again, I want to show one of these. You get two of these little throwing stars, also pretty sweet looking. And one detail that I really like, and he even comes with a hand made just to hold this one here with a barely little crevice in it. But you got the little remote control he uses to make the Batmobile stop in the movie when he's trying to show off there to Vicky Vale when he gets it to stop right before it crushes his calves there. But you got some silver painting there. It looks like a little bat symbol right there to give some detailing to this. And again, you got a hand made just to hold this thing. There you go, one of the hands. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool little detail there, giving you that. So block that out. There you go. Got it zoomed in a little bit. All right, now as far as the hands, we just took a look at this one here. It does hold the little remote control. You do have a couple of fisted hands there. You can see you have a right and a left on this one. If you want to switch them out and give him double fists. You have another one here, which that is made with a bigger hole in the middle there to hold. I bet that is made more for the spear gun. Oh yeah, that pops right in there, guys, very easily. So never mind. I was talking about that being a pain in the butt to get in his hand. They thought ahead. They already got it made there to hold the spear gun. And I'm sure that is big enough too if you want to put the batarang. Oh, nope, dropped it. The batarang in there to get it to hold that one as well. Well, I keep forgetting the camera's not zooming in good. There we go. And then additionally, you get one more hand here. This kind of looks like the Vulcan hand from Marvel Legends, but you get an open palmed hand here as well with the Batman figure. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of different. And of course, you get your typical stand too. We're not going to go over that. Now, one thing, this cape is not wired. It's actually a different material than I thought it would be. I thought it would be regular plastic. It's kind of like a cheap, I guess, not velvet, plasticky feel to it. Like I said, you can hear it there. I mean, it's not like the regular capes that came on the Bale Batman there. It's a little bit different material. The cowl, I mean, the '89 cowl looks pretty cool. We're going to move these accessories over to the side so the camera doesn't try to fixate on them. But the bat symbol looks good on there. It's centered up good. Don't see too many paint flaws on these things. Now, the one thing I'm going to say, and it's kind of silly, it's going to limit articulation. I wish they would make an '89 Batman with the headpiece going down, this to be one solid piece where he cannot turn his head. Because, you know, if you watch the '89 movie, he is not able to do that because the way that costume was made. When he turns in that movie, he has to turn his body because they made this one solid casted piece down to the neck, and he couldn't turn his head with it. But so that was always one kind of little meme and kind of funny thing about Batman '89. But like I said, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's just one little detail I would like. But again, you would lose any kind of articulation with the head if you did do that. But I think it'd be more movie accurate if they did do that. You can see there the likeness to Keaton. It's not bad. You know, for a $23 action figure, I don't think it's that bad. I did get this at Target, so I did get I didn't have to pay the $25 for it. You're having to pay for it at GameStop. Again, your symbol is bright yellow, stands out good against that chest down to the golden belt. You know, and you got your other stuff going on here as well as the costume goes. Down here, he's got his Jordans on. See, what was it, Air Jordans Keaton had, or was it Nikes? I can't remember. I think it was Air Jordans he wore in that. And then you can see here on the back, not as much detailing on the back of the figure there. It kind of gets a little bit solid back here, where you do have the mold and the texturing here on the front. So a little bit of a corner cut there by Todd in the back as far as any detailing on the back of the figure. Okay, let's take a look at our articulation. Again, the head will do what it's not supposed to do, and it will turn all the way around. As far as looking down, that's about it right there. You don't have a whole lot of downward tilt on the head. That's about as far as I can get it to go down. As far as looking up, it goes up quite a ways. So he does look up quite well with this thing. It's just looking down with him is a little bit limited. It does look down, but not very much. As far as going side to side, you can see there you can do a little bit of side to side motion with him with the head sculpt. And then our shoulders, he doesn't have anything precluding the shoulders, so I'm assuming, oh yeah, they'll go up a little bit farther than the Bell Batman will. Again, he just come out of the package. This arm's a little bit stiff, but you can see here how far this one's going up. And of course, where they go all the way around once they're in there, you do have a little bit of butterfly joint there, not much rocking around in there. Elbows double jointed on him as well, so you can bend the arms up about that far. They go down the same as the Bell Batman do, no hyperextension in them. And you do have the I didn't show these on the other one, but you know you do have the shoulder cut there, the bicep cut, where you can twist the arms in and out on all these figures. The wrist has the same articulation, goes all the way around there. It does have a little hinge joint in there where you can rock them back and forth if you need to, as far as the wrists go. Your ab crunch with him, let's crunch him back first. He will lean back and give about that much of a back arch. That looks kind of accurate from the movie there. He's leaning up trying to get Vicky out of the alley when Joker's goons are about to get him. And as far as an ab crunch going down, he will go down about that much. He's got a little bit more of an ab flex there than what the Bell Batman did, or at least they do out of the box. And then same as the Bell Batman, he will twist. This piece will twist, and also this piece will twist on top of that. I would just be careful doing that with these multiverse figures. You may pop it off the joint there, either at this point or down here on the waist. Also, the diaper is not too big and intrusive on this McFarlane. I do like that. And even on the butt back there, it's a little bit tighter than, he's got a tighter ass than what Christian Bale's did. So hey, there you go. Let's see what kind of Jean-Claude Van Damme splits he can do. Alright, he goes out about that far. The diaper kind of precludes him actually here from going out any farther. I think it would go out farther than that if it went for the diaper, but he goes out about that far as doing any kind of splits. Means he can do some cool kick poses and stuff as high as that leg goes up if you have a figure stand. Only thing it does kind of flare the diaper. You'll have to kind of fix that if you take the legs out that far. Again, no thigh cut, no calf cut on these multiverse figures, but you do have the double jointed knees where you can bend it up about like that. And then as far as moving your leg out, it goes out about that much and then goes back to about there before it will stop because of that diaper. Alright, let's take a look at our ankles. This one again, no side to side swivel on there, but you can turn them all the way around, same as the Bell one. And flexing it up, it will flex up about that much. It will flex back and down about that much, and then you do have some toe articulation in both feet as well. You can see it better there when I pop that up. The toe articulation on the Keaton Batman. And I think I showed it does have double jointed knees. Alright, now we got all that done. Now let's do the test. Let's fix these feet back here a little bit. Let's see if Keaton will stand up based on the weird stuff I've been doing with him. Oh, there we go. Actually, you can't see him looking forward here. It looks pretty cool, but again, all three of them stand up. And again, that can be an issue with the multiverse figures. So now let's pause around here a little bit and let's get these accessory sticks in his hand. Let's check him out with some accessories. Alright, my friends, we're going to start out with these little sticks here. You got some pouches here. Let me get it up here close to the camera. You can see there on the end of the cape where these sticks will slide in. So let's get this one in his hand. And the hands that come on the figure, to me, look like the ones that are going to have to hold these little poles. And his hand's kind of stiff. I don't want to break the thing, so I'm going to be kind of gentle with it, putting it in there. Let's bend that back. And let's just see what I'm doing there. Slide it in. We've got one. Let's try this one. Let's put this one in the slat first before we put it in his hand. I bet that's going to make it a little bit easier. It does. I should have done that from the get-go. Oh, should have warmed those hands up a little bit too. And let's try to turn that. Got his head and his torso kind of kayaked here. There we go. Zoom the camera out just a tiny bit so you can see the wingspan of the Batman. That is pretty cool. And then here on the back, now it would be cool, I don't know how good you can tell here on the camera, this thing, you can see there, it's kind of tilting back instead of sticking straight out, which you can flatten that out, it wouldn't be that hard, but they should have made the sticks, I think, a little bit long to go all the way to the end of these things to give some rigidity, I guess you can say, to the little ends of the wings here. This one's not as bad as that one right there is as far as bent. And again, I don't have his arms perfectly level there, but you can see where it holds the cape out. That actually looks very cool. And if you're going to do a pose where he's like dropping down, kind of like when he comes down on those two guys in the alley, I mean, check that out. That looks pretty cool. I mean, you can see him holding the poles, but not a bad feature, I don't think, to get a little bit of rigidity to the cape. But here's my question. I know this is kind of a callback. I think in the movie he had to hold these when he had the cape out, and that's kind of why they did this. If you'd have gave this a wired cape, you could just straighten the wire out on both sides and put his arms up like that and kind of not have to have the sticks, and it would look a little bit better posed in my humble opinion. But those do work. That's how they work. They slide in these little pouches on the end. They go in his hands, and then once you get him put on there, you can turn these things ever how you want to try to hide the sticks. You turn his wrist back more like that, it does hide it a little bit better and gives you a little bit more, I guess, of a higher look there in the back. But yeah, pretty cool feature with the cape to get him posed out and looking kind of cool. Now let's try some of these other alternate hands that he comes with and see how that works out. Let's pop these out, and then let's see, let's try the open hand here. It goes on this one, snaps on very easily. There you go. If you want to give him his slapping hand, you know, if I had a Joker figure, I can take it up there like he's telling Joker, you know, you run that mouth one more time, you know, Joker, you're getting the back of that hand across that face. But there you go. He's John Cena. You know, you can't see him. Gotta have fun with your toys, people. The closed fist I'm not putting on there. I mean, these other hands you can see, we'll put the one on there where he holds a spear gun. Closed fist, I guess, are kind of the boring ones. But honestly, the closed fists are the ones I usually go with when I pose these things. There he goes, aiming the spear gun. That does look pretty cool, I got to say. I mean, I get why they made the weapons so big, but it would have been cool if they made them a little bit smaller and a little bit flimsier like they kind of were in the actual movie. And then let's do the remote. The remote, actually, on this hand is probably the one I am going to leave on here because I like that little feature. Let's put that down in his hand. Bend his elbow up. There you go. Stop. You know, I do have the Keaton 89 Batmobile up here on my shelf. Maybe cool to pose this thing in front of that with him sitting there holding that up to his mouth. But there we go, guys. That is our Keaton Batman. This one, it's still my favorite, but honestly, let's get them all three back out here and let's give some final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this video up. It is now time to deliberate with our closing arguments of which of these three figures I feel to be the best of the wave. Here we got them all three, guys. One more time. You got Christian Bale's Batman here from Batman Begins. You got Michael Keaton's Batman here from Batman 1989. And then an alternate version here of Christian Bale's Batman from Batman Begins, the Fear Toxin version that Scarecrow sees when Batman shoots the Fear Toxin gas in Scarecrow's face. All three are great. I was very, very impressed with this wave. As far as articulation goes, this one definitely wins. He came out of the package ready to pose, ready to mess with. His joints are not stiff to where you think you're going to break them, but they're not so loose that they sit and wobble. I mean, he's pretty solid together. The wired cape, this is the one I thought that I really wouldn't care about. I really like that figure. Highly recommend that one. As far as this one goes, it's pretty much the same figure as this one. Awesome as well. But if I got to pick a favorite out of these, guys, I'm telling you, I really like this figure. It's a solid figure if you just want a Batman. My favorite, though, is between these two. The thing that really gets me with these comes down to the head sculpt. I really wish this had a solid neck on it going down like a more traditional 89 Batman. But oh man, I don't know which one am I going to go with here. I think my favorite of the wave, guys, Michael Keaton fans are going to hate me. I'm going to have to go with the Fear Toxin Batman just because of the detail he did put into that head sculpt, and I like the weathering and stuff here he did on the outfit. Now, the only thing I wish he would have done differently, I wish you had the weathering on the back of the figure. I also like the wired cape because, like I said, with the Keaton Batman, the effect you're trying to achieve, I mean, you can almost take the wired cape and you can almost do that with this one without having to have poles in there. But once again, this is probably my favorite figure of the wave just because of I love the detailing. I can't get it close enough on camera to show all the detail and all the work they did put into the head sculpt on that Fear Toxin Batman. That right there is awesome. It's something different. I've got other 89. It's not my only 89 Keaton from McFarlane. This is the only thing I've got, you know, with the head sculpt like this on there. So kudos to McFarlane. Really like that. This one would have been my favorite. I love the Keaton figure. Don't get me wrong. I'm very glad to have this thing. The only thing I'm not a fan of the cape, and I know that was kind of a selling point, was the poles going out there to hold it up. It is cool. We took a look at it. It does look good. It's a solid looking Keaton figure, but at the end of the day, I just like that one a little bit better. But that is it, everybody. Let me know out of these three, which one do you like the best? Are you going to look to pick up any of these figures? Are they all three pickups for you? Are they all three passes? But once again, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed, follow me on Instagram, turn on bell for notifications on YouTube, and all that good stuff. And I will see you the next time the man reviews.